Hello, this is Reverend Joseph Andrew Jensen Sr. Now, I've made enough of these podcasts, you know who I am. But this is the most important podcast. I'll be starting my book. Nonfiction, everything's nonfiction. As October the 25th, I was on a plane here. Okay? Not September, but September 25th. I was on a plane here from Jerusalem by the embassy. Who sent me here? I was in the hospital in Jerusalem. I ended up in the hospital here for 2 weeks as well. But there's getting off of me. The title of my book is going to start next week. It's going to be called God's War. God's War. It starts 2025. It actually starts November 16th, 2024. Better on the title is to put God's War starts the day after elections. Okay? Now, God's War is exactly what it means. God is preparing to come back in a big way, in a very chaotic way. It's going to be chaos. Not like Armageddon, to where evil forces take over this world. It's where God takes over this world. God's going to claim this world, and there's going to be a test. Many, many tests. It's going to say who's going to accept God. Who's going to reject religions that separated us from God? Who's going to separate everything that's been going on? Killing has always been wrong. From the 10 Commandments, it's never been right. The Jews were there for the parting of the Red Sea, yet they killed. Right afterwards, just after they went through walking across the Red Sea, God parted it, and then they got the 10 Commandments. And they had just gone through the biggest thing, event in their history. Not to mention the 7 plagues. The point of the matter is we have thrown God away in this world. God does not want peace with humanity. We claim God, we claim Jesus. Yet, we don't even know where God's at. You listen to religion, he's up there in the sky. He's in another dimension. He's somewhere besides inside you. What the hell, what are you thinking of? God is life. God he gives you life. He created you. And then you say that God is in another place? God's always been with you, but we've rejected it. We turn to religions. If God lives in me, and he lives in you, then I go someplace looking for God, reading a book, asking somebody else. Yet I'm not talking. It's like when I said I was a crane operator for 35 years, nobody pulled my levers. What came between me and my levers but God. When you're driving a car, nobody comes between you and the levers but God. But the point of the matter is, we have decided religions have made their way between you and the driver's seat. You're no longer driving the car. You're looking for the side roads. You're looking for another way around. Somebody else is doing the driving. This is going to stop right now. This is what this message is all about. God's War starts November the 16th, 2024, which is probably about 3 weeks away, 4 weeks. Not even 4 weeks away. The book is coming, but it's starting the war anyway. Because I'm putting it out here. God's going to create chaos in this world. He's going to create so much because he's going to have everybody. You choose God will be the test of humanity. Whether you're going to get God's coin when I introduce God's coin, And that means whether you're going to become the hands and feet and mouth of God, like I am. Am I going to be alone? Possibly, if nobody listens. But God's going to make everybody in this world millionaires through God's coin. But if you guys don't believe in that, then you will never invest in it, or you never find my name, or this message will never get to anybody else. It don't matter to me. I've done my job. I'm God's messenger. I am God's messenger, and I'm making this video right here, right now, to tell you this is it. This is God's war. He's starting the war. It's always been predicted. It's written in Mark. It's written in Matthew. Only God knew the day and the time of his coming. He's already came, but he was rejected already. Now he's come to me 5 years later to give you this message. No more chances. No more chances. It's one or the other. Either you're going to deal with God's going to have this world, or we're doomed to live with it till we all die, till we're all dead and gone. God could start over anywhere he wants. He doesn't have to have us. It's tragic, though. There's a lot of innocent people not on this earth, but within us. The unborn, they have nothing to do with what we're doing, our rejection. How about all those in your DNA? They're going to die too. They're going to be trapped. I don't understand why this world has to be so determined. It doesn't make sense that this world wants to be so determined to have so-called free will when you actually aren't having. Nobody's got any free will. You actually are doing the bidding of societies, governments, religions. They're the ones that pick out the norms of society. And what is a normal society today? Killing. I watched the Cowboys. I watched 4 movies involved with killing today. I happen to like cowboy pictures, but the point of the matter is that was then, when everything was guns. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about me. I'm talking about God's war. This is God's war. He's coming to give everybody a test. Whether the people in secret societies are going to tell what they know, and they're going to turn each other over. Are they going to do what God is asking? Yeah, criminals will turn themselves in. They either are going to go with God. People are going to take God's coin to become millionaires. But there's not going to be any compromises. Everybody's got to come clean first. They got to come clean. And then once they do, they're controlled by God's coin. God's coin can be taken away from you or fined. Any country, anybody that accepts God's coin, if they mess up, they go back to it. They automatically, their God's coin suspended. Why God's coin? Who's going to want God's coin? You say nobody. I say everybody. That's what God's saying. Why? Because everybody in this world is 9 billion people plus every generation to come. What is Bitcoin? 20 million people? How can you compete? How can any government compete with that? Furthermore, everybody that's in this world, 9 billion people, every 18-year-old out of the 9 billion, 18-year-old to 40-year-olds old, will be working in God's services for God's coin. They'll be working for God's coin, and they'll be earning money through God's coin. So that means it's going to be free labor. So what's that mean? If there's free labor in every hospital, road workers, trash workers, every job in the world, nobody changes their job, but everybody's paid very well, up to almost $1 million a year rather. $1 million a year job. Everybody's going to have $1 million a year job right at it it'll be just a little bit less. That'd be $900,000 a year. But the point of the matter is, that ought to be enough. That's free labor all over this world. Everybody stays on their job, but they get paid God's coin. That way you're free labor to every company that's out there. That means there's free hospitalization, free education, free daycare, free geriatric care, free everything. Trash, no, I'm paying for the labor, and I'm also paying you to vote. Everybody 18 and 40 is a voter. And guess why you're going to vote? You think this phone in my hand that I'm making this video is a coincidence? It's not a coincidence. God had to wait on 5G. He had to wait on iPhone, 16 now? Will be out next week. He waited on iPhone 16. Yeah. God's come a long ways, waited a long time for this. This is it. And I'm going to leave this to you shortly. But God's war is coming. They're making this a very short video right now. It's going to end. I'm warning everybody right now. I just came back from Jerusalem. I was in Palestine. Went to Jerusalem. The embassy got me back here. I spent some time in the hospital. Is this serious? Is it fiction? God's not fiction. There is no such thing as an atheist or agnostic. It's not a such thing as theology or belief. If you're breathing, you have God living in you. How can you figure any other way? Are you going to not deny that you're alive? Cover your mouth, hold your breath for a while, and then deny God. Okay, I'm going to leave you go, because this is only the beginning of the war. I'm posting this right now. You're going to be getting messages about it almost every week from me. I'll start the books directly, and I hope the world's going to listen. Because it doesn't matter whether you're listening or not. If you don't listen, the world ends. Simple as that. I'm making an offer. He's making an offer. There's a thing wants to build heaven on earth. An objective, an agenda to build heaven on earth. Is God in favor of that? Not really. The agenda is not God. The agenda is a spirit within me. A spirit that wants to build heaven on earth, but he didn't know all the complications of this. I can see where God's at right now. He hates humanity. He wants to start over. Because we have crushed it. We've gotten too far out. When we decided to do our will be done, not God's will be done, we really messed up. When we started killing, if God lives in us and you're killing God, the same religions that are killing are actually killing God. Murderers. They wrote the books, the Bible, the Torah, the Quran, to make themselves look like heroes, and they're murderers. They were killing God. How can they figure that they're the chosen ones? They're the chosen against. I'll leave that for more information. I'm posting this now.